United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The minutes of the July 15 meeting have been distributed. A motion to approve.
I had one thing on that, Amy, page 3, almost all the way down where it says the decision, where are we here? Town law does say that the district spend money. Put may in there. Town law says that the district may spend money. Thank you. I'll make that motion.
And what was the initial?
May is missing. May was missing.
Oh. Okay. Everybody understand that? So do we have a motion to approve them as correct?
Yep, I made that motion.
Okay. So Charlie, second by Cheryl. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Treasurer's report, Bill Dwyer.
Okay, we do codes, it's a 2-page report, right? Instead of one. Front of the page, the balance sheet, top. Bottom, we have one voucher. The inside page, on the left is the checking account. On the right is the savings. I'm still working, this is a work in progress. Trying to get both the request, I use codes because it's only small compared to the district, but trying to get the New York class integrated into it. So that's why this is here. Way at the bottom of the page is the New York class. Shows his $60,000 in, made $144.61 in interest. It also shows in the one above, but it looked kind of confusing, and I put it separate on the bottom so you can see the New York class account. But it's in the top one, and the total there at the top, coming down $84,777, is the total for the savings for codes, with the New York class in it. Don't add those two numbers. The 60,000 is already in there, 84. That's still a work in progress. Okay, we have tonight 54 vouchers, district vouchers, 8 credit card vouchers, and no overtime vouchers in the district report. Front page, the assets at the top. Liabilities at the bottom. Page 2 and 3 is the budget versus the actual. Four and 5 is the previous year comparison. And what I did for the district accounts on page 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As the top of the page is the savings account at M&T Bank. The bottom of the page is from New York class. So on page 6 at the top is the general fund money market, what we have in that account, M&T. The bottom, what we have in the New York class. Page 7, top, capital improvement, and M&T, the bottom, New York class. That makes it any easier. And page 11 is the payroll. On page 12, the referendums, I grade the areas that are new tonight. So towards the bottom, We have 3 purchases, or 2 purchases and 1 construction. Those gray areas. $13 of the bond interest and principal payments. We have a $70,000 principal due on September 15th and a $5,075 interest payment in September. Those both will happen before the meeting. Page 14, the service award account, we're now up over $1 million. And tonight's vouchers, page 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. That's all I.
Any questions for? We have a motion to approve the vouchers as presented and audited. Mark?
Yep.
Chura, seconds. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Have a motion to approve the treasurer's report as submitted. Motion by Chura, second. Freeze. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Bank statements this month to be reviewed by Diane Rafkus. Do we have any submissive referendums to close out. Correspondence, Amy.
Fire District's Affairs was received and distributed. The Central Region Fire District Association meeting is next Monday, August 26th at Senate Fire District. If anybody, any commissioners or chiefs want to go, let us know. Beckett and I know by Wednesday. We received a letter from the Fire Department Executive Board requesting approval of the recent bylaws amendment. There are two sections that changed. Changing the minimum response requirement from 10% to 10% or complete 144 hours of duty crew and or standby hours. And the requirements for the duty crews or standby hours are outlined in the duty crew SOG or the changes. It was very much. The sections to the bylaws just changed the minimum response from a 10% requirement to 10% or complete 144 duty crew and or scheduled standby hours. And the requirements for the duty crews and the standbys are outlined in the duty crew SOG. You have copies of it in your folders.
So we don't have that on the agenda later in the meeting. Should we act on that now then? It's up to you. You want to act on it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a Toronto here to ask questions to? How about a Quinn?
Got a vice president. Oh, and a member of the board. Two board members.
This was for the bylaws committee, but I guess they can fill in. What date do they have to select the date, which way they're gonna go?
The date of the, you talk about the member to be able to choose?
Yes.
They don't have to choose. Yes, they do.
So this month they can do a 4-hour, and then at the end of
It's
the year you can do it
it's-
calculated?
It's either or.
It's either or.
Yes.
It isn't, and it's for the year when they're reviewing qualifications.
So you're gonna calculate an individual's numbers two different ways to see if they fit one way and it's okay?
Yep. I mean, the hours are easy to run, and the percentage is already there. They're already getting those numbers.
Okay, it's more work on you, so.
It's a report. The system already produces it.
I just thought you'd have something more regimentated to people. People were saying they can't come when the phone goes off, that they need 4 hours, they want to duty crews. And now you're saying, well, they don't have to do the duty crews, they can just come when their phone goes off.
They can do whatever they want.
Questions.
Any further discussion? Is there a motion to approve? Mark makes the motion to approve the bylaws changes that were presented by the fire department. Charlie seconds. Further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So that Commissioner Chura voted no. I vote yes. Police report, Chief Gleason.
Good evening. So for communications, we had a request from Agrana Fruits to assist in hanging new windsocks. We completed that on August 6th and then promptly used those windsocks as part of our assessment last week at an incident there. So not only was that helpful for Agrana, it ended up being helpful for us too as we responded to an alarm there. We've also received a request and worked with Park Terrace for us to observe a fire drill, provide some feedback. Initially, there was some concern on that about taking on any liability and giving them suggestions or participating in that, as we're not trained to that standard for codes compliance and codes technician. I spoke with OFPC, OFPC spoke with DOH. We got back from both that we carry no liability in doing that. So we will be participating in that tomorrow and providing them observations, not recommendations, not suggestions, but observations of what we see. So excited to participate with them tomorrow on that one. As far as the projects we've been working on, the personal protective equipment, the turnout gear that we've ordered is beginning to arrive. Hoods and boots have been issued. Most of the hoods have been issued. We don't have everybody yet. 19 members were fitted for our new turnout gear. We're across 2 different companies. Both of them look to be about 40, 45 days for that delivery when that'll be coming in. After quite a bit of work, quite a bit of effort, and a lot of cooperation with our folks, Lynn Malone, several of our other members have put together an EMS mentorship program. Right now, that's in the hands of the chiefs. We're making some edits to that, some recommendations to that. We'll be putting that together and then pushing that forward so that as new members come in or folks get certified newly as an EMT, instead of just sending them out there to do good things, we'll be able to give them some guidance, be able to work with them on their skills, make sure that they're up to standard, and then send them out there to do good things. So more to come on that mentorship program, but that was a really big lift for our folks, and I appreciate the work on that.
Will that be just volunteer members, or will that be that perhaps the paid staff can help as mentors?
So our mentors, we will look to both the volunteer staff and the career staff when we select our mentors. So both will be represented. We've also added into the program that our new volunteer EMTs will get mentored. In that checkoff, we've also put together some checkoff for our career staff that come in new so that they have that same familiarity, that same understanding of our SOPs, SOGs. So that's something that we're currently working to add into that based on experience and based on where they're coming from and what their past looks like. We know most of our folks have experience that way. We want to make sure that we give credit for that historical experience versus a brand new EMT. So we're looking to balance that across both.
Thank you.
The last bullet here, I spoke with Chief Eve. We are going to schedule our first organizational improvement session for September 26th. Now that we have that announced here tonight, we will get information out to everybody in the department, career and volunteer, to let them know that that's scheduled for that evening and make sure everybody has a chance to participate. We'll also be allowing folks to come in remote, and we'll be recording the session for anybody that won't be able to be with us either on the computer or in person. So more to come on that, but that's scheduled for the 26th. We'll get info out to everybody shortly.
Will they be able to participate or just view?
For the remote session, they'll be able to participate. Thanks to Commissioner Priest and Barb, they're going to support us in that, and we'll be able to have interactive with our folks that are online. The folks that can't participate either way, we'll give them a window to be able to observe that, send in any suggestions they have, any comments they have, any pieces that they want considered in that. So there'll be some time, even if they're not here, there'll be some time for them to partake in that. Policy-wise, I have nothing significant to report at this time.
Any questions for Chief, please. Chief speech.
Nothing to report this time.
Chief Melchior.
Nothing at this time.
So going back to the session with the chief, with David B., is that a Thursday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any questions, discussion with the chiefs? Okay. Committee reports, long-term planning. Chair.
The chiefs are doing very good with nothing to report, but I'm not going to say that. We reached out through the business meeting and through this commissioners meeting for long-term starting back up. I've had a good response from people. I will be getting in contact with them so when we can get together. So if you're watching and you contacted me, thank you.
New truck committee, Chair Rafters.
I have nothing positive to update. No one's on either of the pieces of apparatus. Brinley is working with other online websites, so our trucks are posted not just with Brinley, but dozens of other places as well. And they're working hard for us to sell them, but nothing at this time.
You guys need to speak up because we've got the fan and it's noisy today, so.
Has Brindley reported any interest?
No. I had a conversation with truck committee and one of the chiefs, and they recommended that we just keep going with the summer. Maybe we'll have some bites in September. But not costing anything, we'll keep going for right now.
I remember I don't remember his name, the gentleman from maybe Salve, I don't know.
Oh, DMA.
Yeah.
DMA, Jessica.
Yeah. He came out and looked at truck 2 for us and really gave us a pretty realistic quote. And we thought it was worth more, and we tried to get more, but what the quote that he gave us is what we ended up selling it for. I wonder about contacting him. I know you say Brindley has posted it on some other sites, but it didn't do any harm to post it with him. Does Amy have the contact information?
So I believe in the next week or so, they will be installing the battery-powered tools in engine 11. The hydraulic tools will be available there going with the heavy rescue, so we'll be able to photograph those and then put those in the whoever we're selling it with.
The pictures are already in.
Of all of them, in
Yeah.
each one of them? Okay.
They're going with the rescue.
Correct.
Right. I didn't see the last time I looked at it.
I'd like to see us add in that local contact. Amy can give you the information on it. Is there any word on the build and delivery of the second rescue?
June of
June.
2025.
June. Lysander Public Safety. Chair.
So we have no meeting this month. Next meeting is going to be October 5th, September 17th. And that's going to be right here, Belgium Cold Spring Station 1. The October 5th, Saturday, October 5th, we're having the townwide recruitment retention. Again, that's going to be over at the Lysander Town Hall with multiple departments in our district or our area participating in that. So, more to come on that.
And the final plans for that could be made on September 17th.
Yep. Yes.
And the town is very supportive of that.
Right, I talked with them the other day. We had a discussion on it, so yes, they are very supportive of it, which is good. And Kevin's right there. He's willing to help out and, again, use their facility over there for setting everything up. Can you hear me? No? Okay. I'll talk later.
Okay. Budget and finance. The proposed budget, we've been working on that, had several meetings. We will bring the proposed budget to the 2025 proposed budget to the September board meeting. IT committee.
We're ongoing still with the telephone system. Amy's doing a great job with that.
Hopefully this week.
By the next meeting, we'll have them done. Always put in that caution. But she's done a great job with working on all of them. That's it.
What about that copier, Mike?
Thank you. Last month, I made a motion to purchase a copier. I'd like to rescind that if possible with the moving of things around with the buildings. At this point, as Barb had pointed out, we don't need the additional copier. It was something we'd always done in the past. So I'd like to rescind it that we don't purchase it.
Did we order it?
No.
Okay, that's all.
And we're not paying the maintenance either.
Yeah. Rescind the copier motion from the
July 15th.
July meeting. So you're making that motion?
Yes.
Okay, is there a second? How about Mark? We'll pick Mark.
Okay.
Okay. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Personnel, we are conducting our annual reviews. We conducted several interviews for part-time firefighter EMTs and hired 4 additional: Michael Simpson, Paul Berry, Kim Hainigen, and Brian Easton. And I think they're all oriented and starting. Truck maintenance.
The only thing I knew of outstanding was the outriggers on ladder 1, but I've heard they're back in service, so that truck's back up and running completely. That's it for that.
Building maintenance. Charlie.
The bathroom renovation project is finally complete. The one thing that was holding it up was the sign to put on the door. We've come to compromise on putting a sign up, so it should be all set. A couple other little minor things we'll do in there, but for the most part, we're all set.
You don't have a thing here.
Nice job in the bathroom.
Thank you.
Steering committee.
All set to start October 26th at 9:30 at Station 2.
October 26th, 9:30 at Station 2.
Correct.
Fire prevention.
This past couple of weeks, been busy for the department. We did 2 weeks ago Kerry Horner Day for Radisson Founder Day. for the fireworks. And last weekend, they did the YMCA Family Day coverage.
And it didn't rain on it, right?
No, no,
Forecast was for a lot of rain. Lucked
they made
out.
it through. And that's it.
Thank you. Under old business, we have what we called a waiver in the previous meetings, but now we had the attorney rewrite it, and it's a memorandum of understanding regarding the non-firematic use of Belgium Cold Springs fire property and equipment located thereon. And this relates to the fact that the FBL and workers' comp do not cover things unless they are in the line of duty. So this has softened that waiver to a memorandum of understanding, and we did receive this the day of our last meeting, but I don't think we felt that we had had an opportunity to look it over and study it, so it's on tonight's agenda. What are your thoughts?
I make a motion, we accept it.
Chair makes a motion to accept it. Is there a second?
How does this cover if they go out, such as like the YMCA or Kerry Horn Day? It's not a line of duty, but if they get hurt there,
It's an
That's
approved
considered a
activity.
line of duty.
okay. Okay.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Charlie. Further discussion?
So if someone's washing their car, they're not on any duty, and then a call comes in and they get hurt, how does that play into it?
Well, I think once a call comes in, it's the line of duty.
What if they're just standing by, they're not on a duty shift, they're washing their car?
They're
and
not
it's
covered.
a call.
They're covered because they sign in for the call.
But there is no call, they're just waiting for a call, no call comes in.
Oh, I see
And at the
what you mean.
time,
Yeah.
they're washing their car.
Well, I think that's one of those cases where you submit it, the insurance company's gonna make a decision. I don't think we have control over that.
And then I guess what's the purpose of this waiver? I guess I don't understand that we have our employees that are here, we have our other employees that are doing duty crews. We want them here to be in the building for the calls, whether on a duty or they're just hanging out and they get hurt. I mean, I guess I'm not in favor of this because I think we should cover all our employees.
But workers' comp and VFBL won't cover it. And if we say, hey, you're gonna be covered, and and they're not, I don't think it's appropriate that, we need to advise them, and they need to know that if they're playing basketball out here, pretty good chance VFBL and workers' comp are not gonna cover them. Our separate accident and sickness policy would cover them.
Not
But
necessarily.
we can argue that, hey, they were on standby here. We can argue that, but we don't have any control over whether Fire Districts Mutual and, I guess it's Fire District Mutual for both.
Well, it would be, any insurance company is gonna treat it the same way. There are certain things that just because it happened at work does not make it work-related. If it's not something that's part of your job duties, they may not cover it. It may not be an accepted claim. There are certain things that are considered idiopathic, that could happen anywhere. just because it happened while you were at work or while you were on duty doesn't necessarily make it workers' compensation. Making it an MOU and not a waiver says, okay, you can do these things, we're gonna try to cover you wherever we can, but you have to understand that there are certain things that may not be covered while you're here in the building, is basically what it boils down to.
So this has been in existence all
Yeah.
along.
Whether you sign it or not, there's still certain things that just are not gonna be covered by insurance. It isn't, we have really great insurance and we do cover a lot of things, but there's certain things, like specifically in workers' comp and VSBL, it doesn't address, it says working out is not covered unless it meets certain requirements. So just having a weight bench or doing jumping jacks while you're here doesn't mean that it's gonna be covered just because you're at work.
Okay. All right, thank you for that.
So it's no change, it's just letting the members know.
Right, we're just informing the members of how our insurance coverage works.
It's not even our
That's what
insurance,
this
it's the way workers' compensation law is written.
Right, so we're putting it out in black and white.
Yeah, regardless of who we were insured
Yeah.
by, you're gonna have the same things. Our insurance company is gonna work with us a little bit more, we've been with them for a long time.
Right.
But there's still things by law that they can't just pay on because they have to answer to why they're paying on claims.
And to further complicate it, the 1910-156 has new language in it, and the Fire District Mutual.
Well, I know McNeil, FDM, all of them are already talking about how that's gonna have to change, and that's gonna be legislation, because that's all spelled out by New York State, so that's gonna have to be something even higher up, but they're already talking about it, they're already meeting about it.
But in the meantime, we are here where we are.
All right, thank you.
So it's not a change, it's just basically an informal.
Yeah. All right, thank you again.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Any more questions, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. New business, we have a support member application.
It's actually an active member application.
Oh, it's
She
active.
changed it.
And do they reside in the district?
There were no issues with any background checks or anything.
Okay, so we would approve pending physical, background checks done.
Any prior experience?
I don't think so, no.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Charlie and Mark, seconds. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I am presently the Region 3 Director of the State Association of Fire Districts of the State of New York. My term is due to, I need to run for re-election, and the letter for nomination needs to be in by December 15th. So I would ask for approval and a nomination letter.
Yeah, we could do
Anybody
that.
want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Charlie and Mark. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I'll ask for public comments.
I have one. In the budget, you've got your payroll services account, which is currently at 131% of the budget for this year, which is at $15,000. If you continue where you're going, you're going to spend about $32,000 on the payroll services account, paychecks. if I'm correct, at that point, at this point in time, that service account should be bid out because it's over your limit for bidding. When you first did it, you didn't do anything with it, and there are other service agencies that may or may not have a better, it's on page 2, under 3410 contractual and other expenses. It's the second line item there, page 2 of your budget. You're going to be at about $32,000 by the end of the year if the numbers stay about the same. Because you're at 15,779, 57 now. You double that. That's an awful lot of money to be spending on a payroll services account, services company that hasn't been bid out to multiple entities. And there are other entities like that that are available. And when it was first selected, it was going to be, just a little amount. It wasn't going to be that big.
Because it's professional services, I don't know that it has to be bid, but we certainly will look into that.
Compared to your policy, what does your policy say? And I guess is the question for bidding and financial host services.
So we can look into that. Thank you for the comment. Anybody else? I would make the motion that we move to executive session to talk about item G.
The resume and employment history of an individual which may lead to his or her continued employment with the district.
So I made a motion. Did you second?
I can second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I suppose it's possible that we may have business afterwards, but I just don't know.
Should.
I kind of doubt it, but it's possible. Okay.